Yo, what's going on, guys? You got Ace here. This week in the NPL, we play against Verd for week 4. Verd has the God Squad of Mega Diancie, Hydreigon, Gengar, Necrozma, Gliscor, Ferrothorn, Heliolisk, Araquanid, Talonflame, and Hariyama. So, I guess we'll just jump straight into my prep. I guess I'll go over my team too. I have the Mega Gallade, Thundurus Eye, Togekiss, Alolan Muck, Latias, Empoleon, Darmanitan, Mismagius, Seismitoad, Stunfisk, Lickitung, and Sceptile. So the first thing I noticed about Verd's team is that, as you can see, the first one I put there is Mega Gallade, since he doesn't have anything except Talonflame that naturally outspeeds Gallade. So if I can take advantage of the Talonflame and switch into it with my other mons, Gallade can put in a ton of work this game. Necrozma is obviously a decent switch in, especially since he's Z Necrozma, so he's less weak to knockoff. But I decided that I would be knockoff over X Scissor for Z Necrozma because I needed knockoff for mons like Gengar, and it's just a good move in general. It also, yeah, mostly just for Gengar because Ice Punch isn't killing it. It's just annoying to switch into a knockoff anyway. So, yeah, that's pretty much the Gallade set. SD obviously isn't on there to sweep him because he has the Talonflame, but if I SD on one of his walls, I'll be able to break it much easier. For example, if he has Necrozma in, Necrozma can't kill me with anything, so I can SD in its face and then start going for knockoffs, which are guaranteed to do a KO. Next one I have on here is AV Muck. AV Muck is a bit strange when I don't have like recovery because Muck's really good against him, so having recovery sort of makes it worse. But the reason I have AV Muck on this team is that actually I have this Wish Latias, which can pass it wishes. So that's going to be really nice against him, being able to wall threats like Necrozma, Ferrothorn, most Mega Diancies. I guess if he's like Calm Mind, then it'll be an issue, but Earth Power isn't doing much to me, and I can just go for Ice Punch or whatever against it. And he'll want to switch out because he'll fear a Poison Jab, even though I actually can't hit Mega Diancie all too well with this Muck. And then it's also a very good check to Gengar, since I'll just be able to go for Pursuit and kill it. Even if he's a Willow Gengar, I can just go for a knockoff on the following turn and be able to take him out. Next I have this Thundurus. Pretty much the same sort of idea as Gallade. I can Nasty Plot against some of his more defensive mons and then break. Again, he has mons like maybe a Banded Talonflame to revenge me, or a Scarf Hydreigon. But this mon's possibly even better than Gallade because I have access to Z moves, and I'm faster than both Mega Diancie and Gengar rather than having to risk the speed tie. So that's really nice. And then we got Darmanitan, Choice Scarf. It's my win con this game. His fire resists are pretty bad. Just Araquanid, which is not a great fire resist. And then there's Hydreigon and Mega Diancie, which both take quite a lot from Flare Blitz. I guess Talonflame counts as a fire resist, but it's dying to Flare Blitz pretty easily, so nothing like a real bulky water to take hits from Darmanitan, so he's going to have a lot of trouble dealing with it and be able to keep it healthy for a late game sweep. Next I have this Spadef Empoleon. Again, most of his team is special, so being able to switch into mons like Mega Diancie, Gengar, Hydreigon, Necrozma really well is going to help this mon a lot. Stealth Rock, Scald, Ice Beam, Defog. Defog because a lot of my team is weak to rocks with Thundurus and Darmanitan. Taking Rock's damage on Muck kind of sucks as well. And Scald Ice Beam hits his whole team. And Rocks, because Rocks are good. And last one is Latias, which this set is really important for my team actually, because passing wishes to Empoleon and Muck will allow me to pretty much indefinitely take hits from his team, because Latias can come in on a lot of mons. Latias can come in on mons like Necrozma, Gliscor, Ferrothorn, and just, even though I can't offensively pressure those mons, I can pass wishes to mons that take advantage of those mons. Like, if I pass a wish to Empoleon against a Ferrothorn, I can defog, I can go for rocks, I can do a lot of stuff that makes him at a disadvantage long term against my win con. So Lottie passing wishes into Empoleon and Muck, which will sort of whittle down his team for the Darm sweep late game, or a possible maybe Glade sweep, something like that, is going to be really important in this game. Talonflame is definitely an issue for this team, and I realized that while prepping, but this Latios is really nice against it because since I have recovery and all his moves do recoil damage, I can even protect on the Z move if he has it, and just wish protect up against it since he's barely 2KOing me with his moves. Especially if he's banded, he's not even 2KOing me. Well, he's barely 2KOing me if he's banded, so because with 2 leftovers turns from wish protect. And Ice Beam's doing a decent chunk to Talonflame as well. And then Empoleon resists one of its stabs, and Flare Blitz is pretty spammable against my team, so I think if I can get a Latios in on like a banded Flare Blitz, that'd be really good. SD Talonflame isn't the hugest deal either because it's pretty easy for me to get up rocks against him, and him taking recoil once means that Darmanitan will be able to revenge it pretty cleanly. So yeah, I guess let's get into the game. Let me blow it up real quick. There we go. I don't know why it doesn't save and I have to adjust it each time. That's okay. So he chose to not bring the Gengar, which sort of makes sense against a Muck, but either way. And he didn't bring the Ferrothorn either, so offensive Lottie would have been really good this game if I had chosen to bring it, but I did not. But either way, he's gonna have trouble with Darmanitan this game for sure because he didn't bring Araquanid or Hariyama that can take hits from it. So at team preview, Darm is looking like a pretty good win con because both Diancie and Hydreigon, if they're offensive, are 2KO'd. And then Heliolisk is OHKO'd. Talonflame is OHKO'd by Rock Slide, and 2KO'd by Flare Blitz. OHKO'd after Rocks by Flare Blitz. Necrozma's 2KO'd by Flare Blitz. Gliscor, if he's not Fizz Def, is 2KO'd by Flare Blitz. So let's get into the game. He leads Hydreigon while I lead Empoleon. That's great for me because I can just click Stealth Rock here. You can't really pressure me offensively with any moves, so because I'm a Spadef Empoleon, so I can just get rocks. He goes for Taunt, which is fine. I still wall him, so I just go for the Ice Beam, but he shows off the EQ, which does a decent chunk. If he's a Roost Hydra, I don't want to be clicking Ice Beam as he goes for Roost, and switching out as he goes for EQ is really important because I won't be able to pass a wish into this Empoleon later if I'm below half HP. So I just want to keep this Empoleon relatively healthy, so I go into my Lottie as he goes into Heliolisk, so that works out for me because I can just go for a Toxic here. I sort of predicted Necrozma there because this turns out to be offensive Gliscor, and getting a Draco or Ice Beam on it is really huge. So I just stay in and go for Ice Beam as he goes Talonflame, which is fine. Talonflame doesn't even offensively pressure me all that much. Like I can just go for a Wish here as he U-turns, and he goes back into Diancie, which is fine because I can just protect, get more toxic damage on it, and get my Wish back. So we get to see his Diancie set here. He decides not to go for a setup move, just goes for Moonblast, so that's great for me. I get leftovers, he gets toxic damage, and I just go back into Empoleon. As he predicts that nicely, goes into Gliscor. Here, I can't really stop Rocks getting up since he's faster than me, and Ice Beam may not kill. So I just go into Lottie because I don't want to get EQ'd. And I can just pass a wish into Emp and then defog against certain Mons later. So I go into Lottie. I double back into Empoleon, predicting Necrozma, because that way I can get up my rocks. But he just goes Heliolisk. I guess predicting, well, I guess he was predicting, I don't know. I guess maybe predicting Thundurus? because this is a Scarf Heliolisk, so I'm not sure what he was predicting there. Well, I guess, oh yeah, he predicted my double. Sorry, I got confused for a second. So yeah, he predicts my double, goes Heliolisk, because obviously Scarf Heliolisk can't really 2k out my Latios. I just go into Muck. It's fine, I take very little from this Volt Switch. I see that he's timid and, well, I see that he's modest and got a low roll, or timid and got a higher roll, and not a boosting item, so it's a little bit concerning for a Dharma Sweep, because I'm thinking he may be Scarf, but he may be, I don't know, Expert Belt or something, so I don't know yet. So we'll have to see where that goes. He goes into Gliscor, which is fine. I just go into Latios as he sets up an SD. So because he hasn't gone for rocks at all with this Gliscor yet, I can safely assume he's rocks in Necrozma, because he would have gone for rocks instead of EQ on one of these turns at all before. So he goes for SD. I'm faster and can just click Ice Beam, so that's fine, as that's what I do. He turns out to be Yachi Berry, which is fine because I shouldn't die to any move except knockoff here. So we'll have to see whether he brings knockoff. He actually has Ice Fang, but he crits and I die. So that sucks a lot. And the reason that sucks so much is because this Latios, even at like 12%, I would have been around there if he hadn't crit me, is really important against this team, because I can protect and get back a little bit of HP, and I still outspeed mons like Necrozma. I keep Heliolisk from spamming Thunderbolt, because then I can just wish back up. I outspeed Hydreigon, and I can scout moves like Talonflame, moves on Talonflame, get protect toxic damage on Diancie. Just be very annoying for some of his threats, and if he ever lets me get a wish up, I can get Empoleon back to full, which is really nice. So me losing this Latios here means that not only do I have to revenge this Gliscor and then give him momentum, it also means that instead of this being a 6-5 game, where I go for Ice Beam, or I guess he could have switched out on my Ice Beam or whatever, but he doesn't really have that great of an Ice Beam switch, and seeing that Talonflame would be very low after switching into Ice Beam, and then Heliolisk would also be kind of low, and what would really be the point, since I could just protect and scout what move he goes for. Necrozma I can just Toxic. So just like that, I can't really theory on how the game would have gone if he didn't crit me, but it was very important that he did, and definitely was a deciding factor in how this game went. So he crits me. I have to revenge with Gallade, just go for Ice Punch. I decide to not predict him switching out here because he's been playing this game very safely, especially with his Gliscor prior to this. Like, his Gliscor has gone for EQ every single time on my Empoleon and not predicted me, so I just decide to not predict him to switch out. He's going to stay in. I just go for Ice Punch to get it right and kill him. He goes Talonflame, and I can just go Empoleon as he goes for U-turn. This kind of sucks because you can just go for Volt Switch and then back into Talonflame and U-turn. He can just Volt Turn on me for a long time, which wouldn't have happened if Latios was still alive, because he wouldn't have had this opportunity, because mons like Latios could protect to see what Talonflame is going for, and then even take a Volt Switch from Heliolisk, get Lefty's recovery. Would have been much easier to deal with his Volt Turn if I had Latios, but alas, I did not have it. So as you can see, Muck can just get Volt Switched on and I get blasted by Talonflame, so that kind of sucks. And then pretty much everything else can just get Volt Switch. Everything is either weak to Volt Switch or weak to Talonflame, because this Empoleon takes like 50 from Volt Switch, which puts it in Talonflame range. So I don't know, it's just difficult. So I just switch out to Muck because he goes for Volt Switch. This process just repeats a couple times, him just wearing down my walls, me wishing I had wish support, but no point complaining about it. As he goes back into Heliolisk, I let him Volt Switch on me this time because I need my rocks up to stop this, and he might, and because I need the Talonflame to be taking rocks damage this game, otherwise I can't win. So I go for rocks as he predicts that very well, goes Diancie, and at this point I've pretty much lost. There's no, like, because now there's no way I'm ever getting rocks up for the rest of the game since I no longer wish support. Empoleon can get killed by any mon on his team at this point, and it's outsped by everything. So now that I don't have rocks, I can't really beat Talonflame very well. And I can beat it with Darm, but Darm can't win me the game on its own because it'll be at that 75%, and it has to switch out to be able to deal with Hydra and the Crossbow and that kind of stuff. And at that point, it'll be outsped by Scarf Heliolisk. So the game's pretty much lost. It's kind of going through the motions at this point, but unfortunately, that's how it goes. So GG to Verd. I wish this game had gone differently, but sometimes when an early game crit happens, that's just how it has to go. So I wish we could have had a more clean game. I think it would have been a really fun game if Latias had stuck around for a while. But either way, Verd brought a very good team. He played very well, and nothing I can really say to diss him there. So thanks for watching. Go check out Verd. I'll probably put his link in the description if I remember. And see you guys next week where we play Magic, who we lost to in week 1 of the NPL Minors last time. So I will catch you guys then. See you later. Bye. I guess I'll just wait for this game to end. I usually don't do outros that early through the game. I haven't really seen that many people do outros that early through the game, but that game was very much decided from the point where he could just spam Voltage and U-turn and I had no response. So GG's to him, and see you guys next week.